So we're on the first slide. This is just the intro slide. Let's go on to the next slide. Okay, so BIM 360 Team is a cloud-based collaboration tool that enables engineers and their project stakeholders to work efficiently together in one central workspace. Users can view, share, and review 100 or more 2D and 3D file formats from any device, track version history, and extend BIM to the entire team. So basically, BIM 360 is a cloud storage program. You can store your files there, but in addition to storing your files, you can also view the files, which you can't do with some other file sharing programs. All right, let me just move this to the side. Yeah, so hopefully you guys can see this screen. This is what I was just reading. Let's move on. So some other cloud storage solutions that people have used in the past or maybe are currently using are Dropbox, Box, Microsoft OneDrive, Google Drive. And you can see in the chart here that BIM 360 Team can do everything that those cloud storage solutions can do, but we also have more options because these are designed to work with Autodesk products. So your software that you use for designing, AutoCAD, Civil 3D, Revit, and other products, you can view those designs in this cloud storage solution as well. So let's move on. We also have a different cloud storage solution called New Forma Project Cloud. And same thing, we have all the capabilities that that form has, but we have some additional features that it doesn't have. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to start, how do you actually use BIM 360 Team? So getting started, you first have to create a hub. To create a hub for your BIM 360 account, you need to go through manage.autodesk.com. So this is the same website that you go to when you download your design software. So once you get to manage.autodesk.com, you want your subscription manager to log in and take a look at the users. By default, the subscription manager should already be assigned a seat of BIM 360. If not, just make sure they assign themselves a seat because they need that to set up the hub. Once they're assigned themselves a seat, they would go to the products and services section, and under the BIM 360 Team software, they would go to Access Now. Once you click Access Now, it'll take you over to the A360 webpage. There, you'll see your contract ID number. You want to click on it, and then you'll be able to choose a hub. And then you'll select that hub and assign the contract to that hub. If it doesn't give you that option, then what you have to do is just go to BIM 360 Team and sign in. And when you sign in, there'll be a banner at the top, which will allow you to assign a hub. So these are the first steps. You need to have a hub. A hub is basically a website for your team. So it's different. It won't say team.bim360.com anymore. It'll have yours. So for us, we have CAD Masters Autodesk360.com. So we have our own hub. Okay. Lastly, you'll go back to your manage.autodesk.com website and you'll go back to your BIM 360 Team software and you'll just click Access Now and it'll show you that your hub has been assigned. Okay, so let's go on to the next one real quick. Here we go. So after you've created your hub, you have to assign the users. So similarly to assigning users for software, back to manage.autodesk.com, you want to find your users. You want to, so if you go to your Autodesk account, you'll click on users. You'll find the users that you need to assign. You edit the access, and then for the BIM 360 Team, you would assign it. So once you've assigned your users, then you can finally use BIM 360 Team. Okay. So here, we're going to go to our BIM 360 account, and I will actually show you this after this slide. So At your BIM 360 team account, you can create projects and invite members. When you invite members, you can assign them roles. So there are 3 roles to choose from. There's a project admin, an editor, and a viewer. And here we have a table that shows you what they are allowed to do. So viewers can only view the files, and they can view the discussion boards and the calendar. Editors have those same 2 abilities, but they also get to review the documents, upload and edit documents, and download documents, and share documents. Project admin can do everything in this list, and you can even add more members. Okay, so let me get out of this slideshow and show you the actual BIM 360 program here. So here we've logged into our BIM 360 team account. This is the home page. On the home page, you can see all the projects that you have access to. You can see the ones that are owned just by you, the ones that have been shared with you, and you can also see projects that you have pinned. So pinned are maybe your top priority projects. You can choose which ones you pin to this short list here. So we have 2 projects that we'll get a chance to take a look at here, the A360 team demo and our office building project here. On the home page, you are allowed to create a project. If you create a project, you get to give it a name, choose a symbol for it, and you can also input project information. Okay, so let me escape out of there. Let's go into one of our projects. I'm going to go into the Civic Drive project, so I'll just click on it. Okay. Once you get into the project, you'll see this panel on the side. This is where you can invite members. When you do choose to invite a member, you type in their email address, and you can choose their role right here. Okay. And then you would send them an invitation. So they'll receive an email, and then they have to accept that invitation. Once you're a member of the project, it'll say that you've joined the project. You also have a choice to leave the project. If you're following the project, you will get a notification right here. If you're doing this on your mobile device, you'll receive notifications on that mobile device. If you want an actual email notification, you would go to your account settings. So in your account settings, down here, you can turn on your email notifications, and you can say which things you want notifications for. Okay, let me go back. Okay, here's where you can pin a project. So once you're inside of a particular project and you choose to pin it, that's when you would see it in this pin section on the home page. So that's why I have these projects here. They've been pinned. Okay. You can see all of your members. You can see the email addresses. You can quickly email someone by just clicking on their email address. And if you view and manage members, you get a little bit more information. You have their title, their company, and their roles. You can delete members, and you can change their roles. All right. So let's see. Let's go back to the slideshow real quick. So yeah, this is just a summary of what I just showed you. Roles are assigned when you invite members to join a project. Following a project means you will receive alerts through the app or website. Email notifications can be turned on by going to your profile settings. Pinning a project places that project into your project filter category called pinned on your BIM 360 homepage. Okay. All right. Next, data. So there are different locations in BIM 360 team. So one of the locations where you can store things is data. In the data category, you can upload and organize your files. If you upload an assembly, it allows you to choose a parent file that contains reference or linked files. So if you're using AutoCAD and you have X references, you want to upload the assembly, and you would choose the parent file, and everything else would be considered an X reference. If you have Civil 3D design files, same thing, you would upload the assembly, choose the parent file, everything else will be data reference. If you're using Revit, you upload to an assembly, choose the parent file, and all the other files will be linked. Okay, so it does allow you to upload one file that contains multiple files. You can download files, share files. You can keep track of versions that have been uploaded. So if you upload an initial version that needs revisions and someone uploads another version that has the same file name, it'll tell you it's version 2. And then you can see both versions and compare both versions. There's also an option to open the Fusion Design program. This opens Fusion 360, and anything that you save through that will be stored in BIM 360 team. So let me show you what we're talking about here. We'll go back to BIM 360 team. So we are in the data category. So there's these 4 different categories. Right now we're in the data category. So in the data category, you can upload a single file, you can upload a folder of files, and here's where you would upload an assembly. So a main drawing that has other drawings attached to it. You can also bring things in from Dropbox. Here we can create a new folder if we wanted to organize the files here. And here's where you can open the Fusion Design program, and anything that you save in that program will automatically be saved in the team folder. So you see I have created 3 different folders here. I have an AutoCAD folder, PDF folder, Revit folder. Let's go into the Revit folder. Actually, let me show you real quick. If you wanted to get access to multiple files at once, if you click these boxes, you get more buttons that appear. So for example, if I wanted to download all the Revit files, I would check this box first before I click download. Or I can check all these boxes and then download. We have a move button. You can move it to a different folder. Copy, you can copy it to a different folder. You can also delete the files. If you just wanted to do one file at a time, then we also have download here, and we have copy, move, delete here. Okay, so let me go into the Revit folder now. Oh, you can also edit the name of the folder. So once you get into that folder, you can see all the different files that have been uploaded. Again, you can edit the name of the folder. If you check this box, you get those buttons up there. All of these are currently version 1, but if you bring in a second version, it'll say V2. There's a share button here. So if you click share, okay, you have a choice to copy a link. So you can just copy a link and send it to someone. You have a choice to send this file through an email, or you have a choice to just put an image into a file. So you have this link to place an image into a file. Okay. Let's go to our next slide. All right, so we were talking about the data category. Once you pick a design file, you can view that file in 3D, or you could also view the 2D plan. Once you're inside of that file, you can examine the design, walk through the model, create markups and comments, and also print screenshots. So this is one of our 3D models of our CAD Masters building, and this is a sheet that we've created. These are all the tools that are available. These tools are available in the website, and they are also available on the mobile devices. However, the mobile device icons may be in a little bit different location, and they may look a little bit different, but everything is still available in the mobile device. Okay. So let's get out of this slideshow again, and I'll show you in the program. So let's go into the architectural drawing. I'll just click on it. So I've opened the architectural file, and we have these 2 buttons here. So if I click on this button, I have an option to look at the 3D view, which is what I'm looking at right now. We have all the different components in this 3D Revit file. So if I wanted to isolate something, for example, windows, I can click on windows, and you'll see it makes it more transparent, and it isolates those windows. They're kind of a blacker color. Maybe I wanted to take a look at the roof. So now it shows me the roof very clearly. Let's see what else. I have maybe walls. You can see how the walls are in color and other things are faded back. So this is kind of nice to examine your design. I'll go back to the main 3D view. We also have the option to take a look at the sheets. So I have 3 sheets set up here. We have a title sheet. We have the floor plan. You can see there's already a markup there, and we have the east elevation plan, the markups here. So it's nice to be able to see the plans before you decide to download them. You can also use this feature to mark them up. Let's go back to the 3D view. I'll close this. I want to show you some of the tools down at the bottom here. So by default, your left click will allow you to just orbit that model. You can zoom in and out just like you would in a design program with your scroll wheel. We have this feature which allows us to kind of walk through the model. So if I click here, double click, I'm walking inside the model now. And you can use your left click to kind of pan around. We have this first person option. So I can click here, and I can use my buttons on my keyboard to kind of walk through the model as well. Okay. If I want to zoom back out, I can use this camera option and let's see, fit to view. I want to zoom back out. So a double click of the scroll wheel will also just do like a zoom extend. I'm back out of the model. We have this orbiting option, kind of lets you take a look, different angles of the model. We have a pan option that allows your left click to pan. We have fit to view, focal length, and this rolls your design. So depending on what this type of design you're doing, some of these are more useful than others, but I want to show you all of these. Okay. The zoom window allows you to zoom into a particular location. Just click and drag to create a window. Oh, I think it went too far there. Let's try it here. Okay, so I zoomed into the CAD Masters logo or sign. Okay, and then markups. So markups may be useful here, but I think they're most useful on the sheets. So let me go to the title sheet. Okay, so I'm on the title sheet now. Let's say I need to fix something about the title sheet. I want to fix some information. I can click on markup. And we have all these different drawing tools. We have just a freehand markup. We can create arrows or lines. Oops. And if you make a mistake, you can delete that object. We have different types of drawing tools here. We have different call-out tools. We have a background color option, line weight. So if this is too thick of a line, you can change the line weight. You can change the color. We have text options. So let me pick a text style and a color and create some text. Okay, so it will save this revision. Right now we're still on version 1, but if you click at the top here, you can see all the different versions. And if you had multiple versions, a button would appear so that allows you to compare the different versions. Let's see. You can add comments to the plans. And you can comment to a specific location. Let's see. So say I want to change this here. So now a comment has been added to that location. And you can see the comments right here. You can see it has different comments. You can reply to each comment. You can delete the comment. You can add more comments. You can share. You can share your comments, download the file, move, copy, and delete the file. Let's go to a different sheet. So the floor plan. Get out of this. So here in the floor plan, I'm in the markup section. I have the ability to take some measurements. So they're not, they're pretty accurate, but they're not 100% accurate. It depends on how you calibrate it. The very first time that you take a measurement, it'll ask you to calibrate. So if you, when you calibrate it, you have to know the exact length of this wall or any object in your drawing, and you're going to tell it, okay, if this wall is 10 feet long, you have to tell it it's 10 feet long. And then after that, it'll use that as a basis for all your other measurements. So this, I believe, has already been calibrated. And so now all I have to do is select an object, and it'll tell me the length of that object. If you click on settings, you can change the unit, and then you can change the precision as well. It's 18 feet long. And you can continue measuring it now. It gave me an angle as you click on things. You do have some snapping capabilities, so I can go from here to here, and it'll tell me some information about that. So taking some quick measurements without even having the design software is kind of nice. Okay. You can print if you have just a screenshot that you want to print. You can print that out with this button. This explode the model button is kind of interesting. It'll take your model apart so you can see each component. This might be more useful for a mechanical design if you want to see the parts separately. So we can see here, it takes that model apart for you. We also have this section cutter here. So we have different directions where you can cut a section. So I'll try to cut it from this left side to the right side. You can cut it, and then you can see in the model. You can cut it from different directions. You can cut it from the top. You can rotate the cutting plane as well. You can also use like a section box, kind of like you do in Revit. Again, you have printing options. You have project properties. So any information that you've input for the project, you should be able to see that in this with this properties button. And then you just have some different visual settings for the program, BIM 360 program. You have a full screen option. You can go back out of that. Okay. So to get out of your drawing, you can just click back on one of the folders. So I'll go back to the Revit folder, and I can also go back to my project folder here. So let me go back to the slideshow. Another feature is the calendar. So in the calendar, you can add tasks and deadlines, and people will automatically be emailed if you assign them a task. I'll show you that in the program. So right now we're in the data category. If you go over to calendar, this is where you can add something to the calendar. You can type it in and create it. Once you create it, the members of the team will be assigned that task. So we also have a discussion section. In the discussion section, you can kind of like an online chat. You can type things in and people can reply. You can start a new discussion or just continue a discussion that's already been started. There's also a wiki page section. This is a good area to document things for your project. So you can type in project standards, guidelines, timeline that you have set. Meeting minutes is a good place to put your meeting minutes. Any notes, CAD standards, and training content. So let me show you that as well. So here we were in data, then calendar. This is the discussion section. So you can start a new discussion or you can reply to one that's already there. And then over here, I forgot to mention, this is where you see the members, but there's an activity section here. You can see everything that's been done. You can see that I have commented on this floor plan, and I've uploaded new files, and you can see what each person has done in this project. And here are the wiki pages. You can see someone has started one. You click on it. You can read what they've done. You can edit what they've written here if you have access to editing. You can comment on it. And you can add a new wiki page, so you can add more documents in here as well. So let's see. I did have another project that I wanted to show you guys. This was more, I like to point out the Revit features, but we do have some Civil 3D files in here. So here's a Civil 3D file. Okay, so right now we're looking at a surface and a corridor. So it's kind of hard to see the corridor in there, but we can isolate parts of the drawing. So there's 2D view option, 3D view option, and the Civil 3D entities are also itemized here. So if I want to just take a look at the corridor, I can click corridor, and that isolates it. I can zoom in closer and see the sidewalk, the daylight, the road right there. If we click on a sub-assembly, sometimes they're hard to find. Here we are. So I did a zoom extend. When you click on these little sub-assembly pieces, you'll be able to see them. Let me go to top view. There we go. So this is a curb and gutter sub-assembly. I can go to the properties of that sub-assembly. I just right-clicked here, properties, and it tells you some information about that. Back to the corridor, zoom extend with a double click of the wheel. If you want to see the sheets, we also have the sheets here. So this is one of the sheets for the corridor. Here's another sheet for the corridor. And you have all your tools at the bottom. So in this case, we do have a version 2. So if I take a look, I can see there's a version 1 and a version 2. You can take a look at version 1. So now this is version 1 of 2. Doesn't look too different. But if we want to know what the exact differences are, let's see. We can go to compare version. So we're comparing version 2 against version 1, and you can pick the view that has the change. If a view doesn't have a change, it won't be available. So the 3D view has the change. And then compare. And so you can see if things were added or removed or modified. And yeah, so I don't think anything was really changed, so we just uploaded another version. It'll show you here if there are some changes. All right, so let's see, get out of So BIM 360 team, the main purpose of it is to be able to share your files through the cloud. So you don't have to go through an email or through some other cloud storage device. You can view the files, you can mark up the files, and you can communicate. It allows you to comment, mark up, send tasks and things like that. So it's just an all-in-one program that you can use. If you have any questions, you can feel free to call us. Our tech support number and our email is on the screen there, and I'm sure you guys know that already. But yeah, feel free to call us or email us with your questions.